Tonight, a former NBA referee says the playoff series between the Kings and Lakers in 2002 was fixed.
Let's go to Tony Lopez. He joins us live with the stunning allegations and the NBA's response to this. Tony?
And we thought the big fix was the name of the I-5 project going on right now. But if you believe former NBA ref Tim Donaghy, who was not a referee in the game in question, but if you believe him, the fix was on in Game 6. And the Kings did not return here to Arco in 2002 as Western Conference champs. But maybe they should have.
You make this call right here as Kobe squeezes in between.
The refs made lots of calls that night in May of 2002, lots of calls against the Kings.
Hard to see how this is a foul on Vlade, who just sort of stands behind.
The Lakers went to the foul line 40 times, 27 in the fourth quarter, and won Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals 106-102 to force a Game 7, which they eventually won. But Game 6 was arguably the most controversial game in the history of the Sacramento Kings. Win it, and Sacramento was headed to the NBA Finals. According to this court document filed today by former NBA referee Tim Donaghy, the NBA was determined to not let that happen. Donaghy, the ousted NBA referee who's admitted to fixing league games, says the league ordered the refs in the Kings-Lakers game to make sure the Lakers came out on top. The refs were allegedly told, quote, it would be in the NBA's interest to add another game to the series. Donaghy says the referees called made-up fouls on the Kings to give the Lakers more chances at the free throw line.
That's not a foul. I'm sorry.
The announcers picked up on the phantom calls, and so did the fans, who tonight are shocked by the news and still stunned by the loss in 02. The alleged big fix in Game 6 was all the talk at Sports 1140.
But even more ridiculous than that, as I recall, my memory serves me, is the no calls that they were committing on Bibby.
No calls like this one. A Kobe elbow to the face, not a foul, said the refs. Tonight, the NBA issued a statement calling the allegations, quote, a desperate attempt by Donaghy to lighten the sentence that will be imposed for his criminal conduct. A Kings spokesperson tonight told me they had no comment on the allegations, saying the Kings, quote, focus on the future, not the past. But one can't help but think what the Kings' future would have been like if the past hadn't included so much alleged foul play. NBA Commissioner David Stern did sound off on this tonight, late tonight. He called the allegations baseless allegations from an admitted felon.
There is a discussion, is there not, Tony, about a potential federal investigation into this?
There is. They're talking about the potential for the federal investigation to launch into exactly how this came to be and if there was wrongdoing 6 years ago.
Stunning allegations. Tony, thanks so much. The officiating in that game was so bad, there were so many blown calls, that even the nation's leading consumer advocate was crying foul.
Ralph Nader was among those outraged by the lopsided officiating in Game 6 of the 2002 playoff series between the Lakers and the Kings.
The uniform consensus of most people who watched Game 6 that it was the worst officiating in 30 years in a championship game, and in effect stole the game from the Sacramento Kings.
Nader was so outraged, he wrote a letter to NBA Commissioner David Stern requesting a review of the game. In particular, Nader cited the blow to Mike Bibby delivered by Kobe Bryant.
That was as clear a flagrant foul as you can imagine. He wasn't even called for it, and Bibby was stunned on the floor, bleeding.
On the foul once again.